What's up, friends? This is Ajax, and this is the daily BroScience vlog. So in this vlog, we're going to talk about whatever I find interesting in the BroScience world, the world of decentralized health experiments, the world of outcome-based medicine, the world of trying things and integrating the different branches of science into some kind of holistic practice and application. So I want to talk about today specifically was GLPs. And I've expressed my opinion on them in various forums. But the GLPs, referring to the incretins, the hormones that were developed over the last, actually, roughly almost 40 years, in fact, of peptide drugs that act like your body's natural incretin hormone production, but much more powerful. These compounds have changed the world. I've said this before, that if we fast forward in time to, say, the year 2100, they are going to be looked back on as one of the most momentous civilization-changing technological breakthroughs of the 21st century. They're that important. The obesity rate has actually declined the last 3 years because of GLPs. They're working, they're changing tens of millions of lives. They're a miracle, they're a breakthrough. They're as close to scientific magic as you are ever going to get, if such a thing does exist. And I've been experimenting with them. I've had thousands of trainees at this point that utilize them, and the results are remarkable. There's no comparison, honestly, between fat loss health outcomes using the GLP versus not using one. And that's not to say that everyone should take them or to dismiss doing things the old-fashioned way, but they work. They fundamentally work, and they change metabolic health for the better. And if you are on the fence about it, consider taking the plunge and utilizing them. And what I wanted to share with you guys was a story, and I get these stories every day. This is not a remarkable story. It's a common one, but people connect with stories. And I wanted to share this with you guys. Let me find it. My Telegram channel, my BroScience Telegram channel, has a lot of different topics. So this was a story. This story is about Mike. So Mike, he was, for context, he is a 5'9" male, and last year, 2024, he weighed in at 198 pounds. And this was right when the year was starting, in fact. So end of the year last year, he had a rough holiday season. He wasn't eating right. He knew he had gained weight. And heading into January this year, he weighs in 198 pounds. He knows that things need to change. He's got to make some changes. He's got 3 kids under the age of 10. Life is busy. One time he used to be fit. This is a common story for a lot of guys. They're in their 20s. You work out. You go to the gym. You get a girlfriend. You get a wife. You get fat. We don't want that to happen, but it happens. A lot of men's discipline is not as ironclad as they would like to think. But that's okay. You can always improve. You can correct yourself. You can evolve. So Mike decided he's going to get in shape, and he signed up with Function Health. Function, I have an affiliate relationship with them. Fantastic company. Their health display of data, if you sign up with them and you get your lab markers done, they do the absolute best job of contextualizing all the numbers. So when you get the PDF reports where, something like this, this is blank paper, but someone sends, you get labs done and you get sent a bunch of paper and it's a PDF and it's just this big long list of numbers. It's like, what is this? What does any of this mean? That's not Function. Function takes your numbers, puts them into a dashboard. You can see the optimal ranges, the critical ranges, marker by marker, breaks it down, explains all of it, gives you suggestions. It's this fantastic company. Has my highest endorsement. Click on the link in the description if you want to sign up with them. He signs up with Function, gets his numbers back. Numbers not good. LDL was high. Total cholesterol was 213. Not terrible, but not optimal. His cholesterol HDL ratio was 7.8. His triglycerides were a wreck. They were 930, which is crazy high. Testosterone wasn't bad, 527. The free test was 65.9, 66 basically. So that was okay, but he's overweight. Body fat percentage is too high. He's only 5'9", right? Weighing 198, 5'9" is not a healthy body weight. So he starts working out, and he has some setbacks. He has some rib injuries, but starts training, going to the gym, diet, using my various resources. And then he decides he's going to take the leap into some research chems, which you decide to do research this way. That's on you. But he gets on the Retta. And then he gets his labs 6 months later. And the numbers are dramatically improved. Triglycerides dropped from 930 to 102. That's crazy. that is an insane drop. But this is, for those of you guys, those of you guys who've never used Retta don't know this, but for those who have, who've used Retta or tirzepatide or even Ozempic, what it can do for your lab markers, for your metabolic health, it's incredible. This is just an example, one of many. Cholesterol dropped. Testosterone increased, 612. His free testosterone went up to over 100, which that means his estradiol and his SHBG were probably pretty high. Biological age went down 10 years, 38 to 28. You can't argue with these kinds of results. Now, he's still not where he wants to be, but his words, this community is so incredibly valuable with the amount of free information you have access to that I know I will get there. Never in a million years did I think I'd be utilizing peptides, but the health benefits have been massive. Don't be afraid to jump in. The community is here to support you. And his body weight, he went from 198 to 172. So he also lost over 20 pounds from around 198 minus 172. Yeah, so he lost around 25, 26 pounds. That's the power of GLPs. This is why I'm pro these compounds. I've said before, a couple of years ago, I was very black-pilled, doomer-pilled, whatever, about the state of health in America. Obesity had won. You could go back on X and look through my old tweets. I said that multiple times. Obesity won. We don't have any solutions as to how to reverse these trends. Fitness industry sure as hell didn't have any solutions. We can talk about diet and exercise and argue about sets and reps and training volume and length and partials and eccentrics and tempo and all this science and evidence-based BS that doesn't even matter at all. We can argue about that stuff. None of it made a difference for the overall state of health in the United States. Trying to change people's behavior is the intractable problem across all human history. How do you get people to change? God himself has grappled with humanity for all time to get people to change. Doesn't matter whether it's Christianity, Islam, Buddhism, Hinduism, Judaism. What do we need to do to act better and take care of ourselves and treat each other right and treat our bodies right? How do we do that? It's the previously insurmountable problem. The GLPs were the breakthrough through the miracles of biochemistry, through peptides, through small molecules, through orthomolecular medicine or descendant of orthomolecular medicine, using nutrients, using things that are endogenous to our bodies. We can change our brain. We can change our mind. We can change our souls even, and we can become leaner, lighter, stronger, faster, better. My vision for America is that by 2050, we're all happier, hotter, and healthier humans. 3 H's. That's the vision I want. That's what I want to bring to the future. And the GLPs, they are helping us get there. And you don't have to take them. We all have free will. If you want to take them and you're struggling with fat loss, or if you just want to struggle less, you don't have to embark on that Sisyphean task of climbing the super steep hill and having to grapple with your mental baggage and your mental obesity and your psychological weight. The GLPs, they're not a substitute for hard work. They're not a substitute for habits. They're not a substitute for diet. What they do is they create cognitive space. I've used that term many times. I'm going to expand on it. They create cognitive space where the mental energy that you previously would have expended on trying to overcome your inertia and your bad habits and your ingrained patterns of behavior and your temptations, you no longer have to expend that energy. You have the psychological, metaphysical space to make better decisions that serve your health, like going to the gym, as I say every single morning, like going to the gym, like not eating bad foods, hyperpalatable foods, like eating healthy foods, like reconstructing your habits. That's what they allow you to do. Beyond the appetite suppression methods, there's also the metabolic health methods: better nutrient partitioning, lower insulin levels, improved blood glucose, decreased fatty liver in the case of retatrutide, even potentially elevated metabolism. They're doing those things for you, and there's no comparison. There's nothing you can do with diet and exercise that match the effects of a GLP-1, 2, or especially 3, referring to the Retta. So that's the power they have. Again, you can use them, not use them. If you're interested in learning more about peptides, I have an A to Z guide. You can download that in the description. I also have a free Telegram group, BroScience Club. Join that. I also have a paid group. If you want to become a coaching client, group coaching or one-on-one, I have a team of coaches. You can look into that as well. Thanks for watching, guys. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you all again tomorrow.